We are back, and yes, I got some new headphones. I'm feeling aerodynamic with it, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Sennheiser for that. But today I feel good, man, because we are only 12 days away from the Prime card, 11 days away from my 24-hour live stream. You guys do not want to miss it. The guests are lining up. The undisclosed location is starting to get set up, and we're going to have a good time for 24 hours leading up and all the way through the Prime card. Do not miss that. But today we are breaking down a lead-in to the Prime card, and quite frankly, the man that has gotten the most eyeballs since he's been announced and gone on a absolute onslaught of Logan Paul's fiance, Dillon Danis. The bad guy was on the MMA Hour with our guy Ariel Helwani, aka The Nose, and he knows what we do. That when these two are on camera, it's usually straight up comedy, and we still get some little gems here and there, let's just say interesting. So we're gonna break this entire thing down. Strap in. This is gonna be a long one, that's what she said. They're talking Logan Paul, the lawsuit, dark times, the Prime card, and more. So the breakdown, let's go.
Is it true? 9 months later, part 2.
9 months?
Oh, there he is.
Damn, it's been that long
My
already.
old friend. Hello, Dillon. How are you?
How you doing?
Thanks for coming in.
Appreciate it.
It's nice to see you.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, man.
No, it is.
Dillon comes in with the Pacino shirt on. He's the bad guy for a reason. Scar-faced out. What does that hat say? Oh, please don't tell me that says Leo DiCaprio paid for it. The man's dropping bars before the freaking thing even starts, son. And look at this smile from Ariel. You know Ariel's got questions to needle Dillon more than a fucking acupuncturist at this point. So this one's going to be fun.
It's nice to
Your
see
attitude
you.
changed.
In what way?
You're a lot nicer now.
Well, not, I mean, look, I said I had Logan on. I think it was only fair that, you know, that you would come on. I didn't know you'd come with like an army of people, so I don't know what you're so worried about.
That's
hello,
for.
hello, everyone over there.
He's supposed to be behind me. It was he's like in the corner.
I mean, this is a one-on-one.
They didn't give me any coffee. They
I
didn't
like
give me anything. They were
I like.
scared.
What do you need coffee for? I like the shirt.
Oh, wait, do you see it?
Okay, and I like
Oh, he got something under the shirt. Okay.
the hat.
Yeah.
I do off the bat want to say I'm sorry. I want to say I'm sorry.
Okay.
From the heart, because they told me, so we did the interview in December.
Yeah.
And then I think you did a few other interviews. And then like shortly thereafter, we found out that the fight fell through. They told me that you were so distraught after the interview that you didn't want to fight. So I apologize
Okay, Ariel's starting. He's starting. We know that Ariel likes to 10-7 guys, right? He's going to throw his shots, especially these two have like an odd relationship where it's like, I don't know if Ariel even likes Dillon. I know they used to have like a little bit of a friendship. Dillon, I think, treats Ariel like he's like joshing with him, but he's like a bully, kind of like giving him noogies and talking about giving him swirlies and stuff. Like he treats him like oddly enough, like an older brother. The way he talks to him, he tries to like older brother. Like, he tries to like low bro him. So it's definitely Ariel gonna take some shots this time around for sure.
putting you in that spot. I didn't want to ruin the fight, and I feel like I robbed everyone of a great fight.
You knew that
but I'm
KSI
happy.
fight I didn't care about. Like the KSI fight was never the fight. It was always against the balls. Like no one cared about the KSI fight. He's a nobody. He's not even a fighter. It was just always that back and forth history between me and the Pauls. So
Sure.
like, this is the real fight, and look at how much build up this one has.
No, this is big.
This is way bigger than me and KSI. Like people in the street that don't know fighting know because of me, because I'm on CNN, because they're saying I'm a misogynist and all this. Like it's all over. You know, I
Dillon's on CNN. Damn. I mean, listen, we all know at this point what Dillon has brought to the table. He has garnered, good or bad, the most attention on this card. You can't deny that. That's just the truth. From every avenue of life, essentially, Dillon, for this specific moment, not that he's a bigger star than Logan or KSI, but for this specific moment, for these specific, 4 months or so? 3-4 months or so, he has been the talk, good or bad, around this card and what he said about Logan's fiance. It's the truth. So at first I didn't believe that, but it makes sense. Yeah, CNN probably did cover something like that. He's probably been on multiple news channels and legacy media, social media. He's done the best job of getting his name in everyone's mouth. Pause.
I built this whole card like by myself, really. Like you can admit it. I know you're not gonna admit it because you don't really give me credit. And that's why I got mad with you with Logan. Like you didn't say that to him. Like you were like, oh, why'd you pick Dillon? Because you know what I'm good at. Like you don't give me credit for that.
You've come a long way from when he picked you to now, right? This has been a remarkable.
But you know this is what I do.
As I said, well, it's to be fair, it's been a long time since we've seen you in a fight, like in an actual build up to a fight, right?
Yeah.
4 years. It has been a long time. So that's why I said it.
But I just feel like you take these, like, when I mess with you, you take serious things.
Yeah, I don't see that's
Well, the Grayson Waller thing, you made the kid delete the fucking picture.
I didn't make him do anything.
Yeah, no,
that was the singer.
but
that was the singer.
But
Why
see,
did
like,
he-
that's personal.
So this is what I'm saying. This is the difference in what I think Dillon does and what Ariel has done to Dillon. Ariel is just matching Dillon's energy now. In my opinion, Ariel will match the energy that he's given, right? And sometimes I do the same thing. I'm sure Ariel doesn't take those as jokes, right? I don't know if he knows Dillon well enough to have him joking about his wife or anything else that is personal to Ariel. So if he sees that or he hears it, he probably doesn't think Dillon's joking. So he's probably going to take a personal shot back or do something that he equates to be the same level of disrespect that he's been given. I think he should do that because just because there's a fighter and an interviewer, that doesn't mean that there's some kind of power structure where the fighter just gets to be disrespectful for no reason. So the whole personal digs thing, I think Ariel just matches the energy he's given most of the time.
That's not. Shut up with the.
You're just like, oh, he's a fucking loser. Why do you think I picked
I never said fucking loser.
I don't know what you said, but I'm just saying,
Don't lie.
like, you change it. Like, you go
No,
from,
I
like,
said,
banter to, like,
why did
serious
you?
things.
You of all people why are you so defensive?
No, I'm not defensive.
I'm coming
I don't
here
mind.
with a smile on my face, with an
I'm just
olive
being-
branch
yeah,
in
but
my hand.
I know,
what are you so
but-
defensive about?
I'm not
In fact,
defensive.
I actually feel like since I apologize, you should say thank you.
I'm a big fan of yours.
Because
And listen,
I put in the call to Misfits to say, give him another
Listen.
chance, give the kid another chance, and they did it.
listen.
This fight happened
Stop
because of
it.
me.
No, it didn't.
Yes.
No, it didn't.
Yes.
By the way,
I put in
I'm
the
a big
call.
fan.
I put in the
Wow. Ariel puts in the call to Misfits to give Dillon another chance. Now, I didn't know Ariel actually had any influence with Misfits. This is interesting to see because I do think I heard somewhere in this interview or somewhere else that Ariel will be a part of this card, the Prime card in some way, which does make sense. Ariel's one of the biggest names, if not the biggest name in MMA media and combat sports media to that point. That's a massive get for them. But the fact that he puts in the call to, I'm assuming it's Mams Taylor, and Mams already likes Dillon, but that merger of those two to get him back on, that's a W in my opinion. Like having Dillon back on this card, again, not agreeing with the way he's promoted, but having him back on this card did make this card that much bigger. Yes, you had Logan. Yes, you had KSI. Yes, you had Tommy. Dillon is that odd piece that actually works better here. Ariel could be trolling here to a degree, but if that's true and Mams was on the fence about it and Ariel convinced him, fair play. That's a W.
Listen,
call.
there's a
You're
gift,
welcome.
There's a gift shop downstairs,
Oh, here we go.
and I went and got I got a
What do we
T-shirt of
got?
yours at the gift shop.
What do we got? Is it me old school? Oh, this is the one that, yes, OJ. That's a great story.
OJ.
No, it's actually, what's it called? There's a gift shop down here. I got it.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was only like $5.
That's Lady Killers. Well done. That is a
What?
great story. You know that story? I've told it on the show.
What does that
Is
shirt
it-
say?
What is it?
Okay, I
guys read
saw
the
him,
cover of
guys.
Nike
Well
on
done
some
with the
ladies?
props. Well done.
He has a shirt. Dillon has a shirt. I don't know if that's a real picture, but Dillon has a shirt on that has young, looks like 20s age Ariel Helwani standing next to O.J. Simpson and the words Lady Killers on the shirt. And most of you guys may be a little too young to know who O.J. Simpson is or why that's dark as fuck, but essentially, and also kind of funny because Dillon has a lot of jokes about Ariel and, you know, him being a nerd or whatever. I get that. That's the funny part. The somewhat dark and disturbing part is that O.J. Simpson was on trial for killing his wife, and to this day, most people believe he actually did it.
What's one fault of yours?
In what way? Like my appearance?
No, just like what's one thing that you would love to change about yourself?
I wish I didn't get injured. I wish I fought more.
It's more of a circumstance.
That's not bad, though. I mean, yeah, that's right. It is more of a circumstance. I wish I didn't get injured. I wish I fought more. But Dillon is now 30. And I'm sure one of the, like Ariel said, it's circumstantial. It's not necessarily his fault. But one regret or one thing he wish he could change is the fact that he's gotten injured so much. I know that, again, we'll probably get into the whole why he ducked or why he didn't fight Jake when he was supposed to and why he didn't fight KSI. But the dude is coming off one of the most brutal injuries in any sort of sport, a tear of your ACL. And he had to do the surgery twice. The first surgery was a fucking complete sham, apparently. It didn't work. He had to go and do it again. And you're talking about a year's time most of the time for these ACLs to repair the first time. Doing it again is another year on top of that. You want to talk about mental fuckery and just brutality trying to recover from something. I can't imagine it. So there's places where I'll give lenience to Dillon on, you know, a lot of the things that other people won't. Because I understand injuries. I've had surgeries. They fucking suck. And him trying to come back from them, I'm sure that's one of the things he wishes he could change.
Like, what's the thing about
but that drives me crazy.
You were like,
it drives me fucking crazy.
that you got hurt?
Yeah,
that it changed the trajectory.
Yeah. But, you know, I think God has a plan. I think I'm going to come back and I'm going to prove everybody wrong. But it keeps me up at night. You want to talk about something?
Yeah, let's go.
I went through a bad time. Yeah, it keeps me up at night. Yeah. You think I didn't want to fight? You think I don't want to prove everybody wrong? You think I didn't want to go and win world championships? It fucking drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. It keeps me up at night. Still to this day.
Did it ever get, like, super dark?
Yeah. I don't know if I want to talk about that. I think I'll keep it for Logan.
Oh,
Dillon gets real for like a second, like 2 seconds there, and that was dope to hear because like it's real, you know. Dillon plays the bad guy character. He's kayfabe, and a lot of us, right? He's in gimmick, but for him to pull that down for a second and just show us, like, yeah, dude, shit got hard for me. I don't like talking about it because I went to a bad place mentally. Like when you surround yourself in your physical capabilities, this is why fighters. Most athletes, when they are done with their sport, they don't know what to do with themselves because they've known themselves only and solely as a physical presence, as a dominant person in life because of their athleticism. Once that goes or it's taken away from you, you don't really have anything left. This is going to sound super dark, but you don't have anything left, like in here. What makes you you, what makes these guys them, is their ability to be athletic. Their Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Dillon's case. Again, MMA, boxing, football, whatever. When that's taken away from you, what's your identity? For Dillon, he didn't have one. That's pretty fucking crazy. But then he big leagues Ariel. He's like, nah, let's talk about it. He goes, I'll save that for Rogan. That's how he switched the character right back, man. Just a flip-flop there was crazy.
Yeah, I will.
Are you going to Rogan?
Rogan is... me and him were cool. We had Char's number, and then after the Khabib thing, he didn't really talk to me. But you know what I'll give him credit for? He was having a show at MSG, and I asked for 8 tickets, which is a lot of tickets, just in general.
Yeah.
He gave me 8 front row tickets to his show at MSG.
So maybe he does like you.
He does. I just think that he might think I'm going to come on and troll, but I would go and I'd be real. And I would tell my story, because no one knows my story. No one.
Okay, so here's the best thing.
What? Nah.
What happened?
Not with you.
Because it got dark,
he
right?
said, damn.
Drinking.
Yeah.
To the point, did it ever get to the point where you thought you would never fight again?
No, but it got to the point that I maybe was never going to be alive again.
You thought about suicide?
I'm not going to get to the point that I maybe was never going to be alive again.
You thought about suicide?
I'm not going to get into this. This is very personal, but I don't. You know, I like to say, like, there's a lot of people with a lot more problems than me, so like my problems shouldn't.
Why was it so dark?
Dude, you go from fucking training and being so good, and then just sitting there in a fucking cast, can't move. You don't know if you're ever going to be the same. There's people. I was just talking about. You saw that guy that broke his leg, Nick Chubbs.
Yeah.
That he tore less ligaments than me.
Mm.
First off, that's heavy, man. Like, again, it gives you some insight into the mind of an athlete. Like, yeah, the problems, they're not going to die, right? You're not going to die. It's not terminal illness you're dealing with. And of course, people have more problems, but he was in a dark place. And that's crazy to say. Christian, I don't even know if you could put this on screen, but there is a video out there from Nick Chubb, is who he's talking about, an NFL running back who's had knee injuries before. He just had another one, I think, last week. And his knee looked like it was at a 90-degree angle the opposite way. It was more reverse hyperextended than your fucking back workouts at the gym. It was ugly. And he's saying, and Dillon's saying his ligament tear was worse than that. That's crazy.
And, like, I had that twice in the same year. And, like, most athletes don't come back from that. And it was just it was hard. Because I didn't realize growing up that jiu-jitsu was, like, my zen. You know, like, when I go train, I feel great after. Okay, so then you're sitting in a bed, you have nothing to do, and your fucking leg is stuck like this. And then you get to a dark place, you start drinking, and you start doing bad things, and, yeah. It's just
Damn.
not.
pandemic too, so it was like super
exactly.
depressing.
And then all you do is just drink
I
all
used to
day.
check in on you.
Yeah.
You forget.
I know.
You forget. A lot of people weren't touching you back
I
then.
never went at you. I don't understand what you think. When we had our little banter, it was just fun, and then you took it to the
I used
next
to
level.
check in. Again, you always say that, but you
The
don't.
reason I did that thing with, I know what you don't like, we're not going to talk about it, but the DM thing was because of the Grayson Waller thing. I thought that was a fucking shitty dig.
So this thing really was personal between these two. Like you think it's all for cameras and it's like back and forth, but this is what I'm saying. It got real personal between the two of them.
People are talking about this fight that don't watch fighting, and that's because of this stuff.
You've done.
I've done more than everybody. Just fucking give me credit for once.
By the way, I have.
No, you haven't. You're talking to Logan. You didn't say one shit.
I told him.
You should have said, yo, he sold this fucking fight for you. Why are you suing the fucking guy?
First of all, he's not. Second of all,
I
did say.
Ariel just keeps like, which again, he has to because Dillon is saying things that are, again, not necessarily true. But Ariel's like, well, he's not suing you. And just goes on to the next thing. But again, it's not Ariel's responsibility to call Logan out on suing Dillon. That's not his responsibility at all. He can bring up the fact that Dillon has done a lot to promote this fight, whether good or bad, but he's also not obligated to do that either when he's talking to Logan. But again, the difference is Dillon looks at Ariel like, yo, you're my boy, or at least we have some sort of like close relationship. You should be defending me. When in fact, Ariel is doing a job, and as an interviewer, he's not supposed to be partial. He's supposed to be impartial. And the only time he does show a little bit of that get back and emotion is when, again, someone like Dillon, who's said some personal things about him, says it and comes on his show and does the whole shtick. That's when he'll do the back and forth. But Logan hasn't done that to him, so why would Ariel start trying to throw zingers and do all that?
I brought it up.
You know he's fucking...
But by the way, I did bring it up.
What?
And he's like, isn't it so funny that he's not even getting pay-per-view points and I'm getting that whole discussion
and why do
came
you
off
say?
of me.
So why do
came
you
off
say? You
of
should
me-
be thanking him.
Came off of me saying he's actually doing a good job of promoting this.
Why'd you pick
But
him?
here's the thing.
Why'd you give him the opportunity? He's
Here's the
0-2
thing.
fucking boxer. I'm a 4-time world champion in jiu-jitsu. Why does he get the opportunity?
I asked the people involved in the show, is this true? I was very curious about it because I think this is actually a
I know,
valid
but
question.
you're not gonna. What I'm saying is, am I not wrong?
Which one? Which part?
That he's an 0-3 boxer, never boxed. You're giving him the opportunity. He's got the opportunity against me. Every single person in MMA and boxing
Who's
wants to
more
knock me
famous?
out.
Who's more famous?
In the sense of WWE, I'll give that to him.
Prime, WWE.
Okay, yeah, I
You
won't
have
say
to
that.
give credit where it's
okay,
due.
yeah, okay, but that's,
Yeah,
that's,
so
it.
that's
Play to
why-
everything. But I'm just saying,
You
who
have
sold,
come
who sold this
from-
fight? No one would care about
You have
this
sold
fight if it was
but
someone
you've
else.
been rolling in the gutter, ceiling. Like my
This is a fair point from Dillon. Like, yo, in Dillon's mind, he is the better athlete. He's the better boxer. Again, he's thinking like a fighter. He's giving me the opportunity. I'm the better fighter. I'm the better this, whatever. But Ariel's ultimately right here. Dillon was given the opportunity because Logan said, you are the one I want to fight. If it wasn't Dillon, it would have been somebody else. Now, Dillon has taken that opportunity and taken his popularity, infamousness, whatever you want to say, to a higher level, like completely anything different than anyone expected. He has taken over this card as far as the name value of what he's bringing. People, like he said, that aren't into fighting are interviewing him. Pierce Morgan, CNN, these people don't interview Misfits Boxing, or they don't cover Misfits fucking DAZN boxing, influencer boxing. They don't do that. Dillon is ascended to a completely different level, but you do have to call a spade here. Logan was the one that gave Dillon this opportunity. Without it, Dillon's not on this card. And he's still talking about fighting Jake or Logan or KSI after he pulled out of the last one. It does have to be said that Logan gave him this opportunity. That's a fair point from Ariel.
My question is,
if this was anybody else,
there
no one
more
would give a
interest-
shit about this fight. Be honest.
I don't know about that.
Who?
Logan is a big star. Him coming back.
Listen, DAZN doesn't want Perry to fight. No one cares about Mike Perry. Do you not understand this?
I don't know if Mike Perry's the guy, but I do think Mike Perry's pretty hot. I mean, your friend Conor McGregor went into the bare knuckle cage to
that's
face
fine.
off with Mike Perry.
It doesn't matter.
That's a big deal. That's a big nod of the cap to Mike Perry.
He was just doing it for bare knuckle, and they were there, and they asked him to come up.
Yeah, Mike Perry's name value for this fight does not hold anywhere near the same weight as Dillon's does. He's right about that. Dillon is the draw that we didn't expect him to be for this fight. He is the reason, again, a lot of people are going to view this fight that maybe weren't going to watch Logan Paul fight Mike Perry. Like, Logan has his fans, and there's a lot of them. Logan's a draw, we know that. But Dillon, in this buildup, has built himself into a pretty big fucking draw. I think we're going to see that on fight night. So he's right there.
What's the interest? You versus Nina or you versus Logan? Because all the stuff is directed towards her. Why don't you direct it
fucking
towards the guy?
jiu-jitsu guy and a guy that's never won a boxing fight. What are we selling here?
Nah, that's discrediting you and him.
No, but Dillon's a little bit right here. Again, they're talking from two different perspectives. Ariel looks at this like Logan Paul, the star. People are going to tune in. Dillon, you should be interacting with him. Dillon is looking at this from a common man's perspective, a casual audience. Why would a casual audience of Dillon's, MMA, fighting, combat sports, why would they watch a jiu-jitsu guy box an influencer, right? Most of the MMA fans don't tune in unless their guys are fighting influencers. Dillon isn't necessarily considered one of their guys at this point. He hasn't fought in a very long time, so he had to do something. Now, again, I'm not agreeing with what he's done, but I can almost guarantee you that most people that are looking at this are not going, it's Dillon versus Nina, right? Yes, that on the surface is what the actual issue is, but it's Dillon versus Nina to get to Logan, right? Like it's Dillon poking and doing what he's doing, putting this stuff online to get Logan back for saying things about his mom and his ex-girl and all, whatever. On the night, we find out why, and most certainly everyone's watching for that.
It's
you
the
guys
truth.
Are bigger than that. You're not just a jiu-jitsu guy.
I found something, and to be honest with you, I didn't realize how
did this come in? How did this happen?
Because I just threw a picture out there, and then I didn't realize how bad she was. Like, he's going to thank me. I swear to God, he's going to thank me. I'm telling you, they're going to be divorced, and he's going to thank me. The girls in New York, bro, they'll make you fall in love with them. But she's not a good person. I'm telling you.
This, I can tell you 100% is a fact. Stay away from New York girls. I'm going to tell you guys, stay away. They'll break your heart.
She just goes to the next famous guy, whoever has money. It's a
but why?
easy game.
Okay, so here was my thing. Like
I'm helping him out.
Initially,
I'm bro
when
coding
you were doing this, I was like, okay, like he's trying to hit him, and as Logan said, he's not immune to like rolling in the dirt. But did it go like too far?
No, would I go too far? I never said anything. I was just everything I posted is public, and I could prove that in court.
Well, isn't part of it?
I hacked her Snapchat? Be honest.
No,
I don't think I'm flattered that I'm fucking think I'm smart enough. I know, me
I don't
either.
think you're smart enough. But
in 2014, so I knew that they were going to get married.
Someone hacked it and sent you the.
No, that's all.
You just said people have been reaching out to you.
I have receipts of it being online before.
So where did you find the video that she's most bothered by?
This is all lawsuit stuff, so I can't talk about it. But I have proof of everything being online before.
The only
reason I started going at her more when
Photoshops. You're not doing this.
Yeah.
You're not that. Come on, dog.
That picture of you and her, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is a good one. I thought that's what.
Yeah, I don't think Dillon is doing all the Photoshops, but here's the part I think Dillon may be missing. Like, yes, he can prove that it was online before he got a hold of it, but the distribution of that picture, like it may have been public, but she may not have known that. So she had no reason to then go out and pursue legal action. I'm not saying that I know that or that's the case, but I do think he can also be held liable for resharing an image that, again, she didn't make public, maybe was leaked to the public because he is an individual that now is not some bot account on Twitter or some website with no face, no name. They can go after him directly and say, yo, he shared this image that I didn't know was public, that was taken without my consent or shared without whatever it was. And while it was already public, Dillon shining a light on it may be what gets him in trouble.
At what point is the trash talk going to be about Logan?
I've gone at Logan. Just people kind of like, I've done everything. I don't know if there's anything else I could go at him for. I hit him for his cryptos. I hit him for the suicide fours. I hit him for tasing a rat. I hit him for fucking
all that I think is
all
fair
shit
game.
to his brother.
All that I think is totally fair.
I went too
game.
far, but this dude fucked his brother's girlfriend and made a music video dissing him, rapping about it to his own little brother. And I'm the one that went too far?
Well, I don't think.
Facts. Like, yes, Dillon has gone too far with this, but Logan has also gone way too far with the things that he said and done. So the ivory tower pointing down on Dillon for this is kind of fucking hilarious to me because it's, again, the stone in the glass house argument. Logan acting as if he is morally superior to Dillon Danis is complete fucking horseshit.
Listen, I saw this other footage of you
What
smacking your head on the sauna.
Yeah.
What is up with that?
You know how like Perry does like that in the sauna? I was conditioning my head.
Stupid
I got a hard head.
ever seen.
This looks very
It's very good.
unpleasant.
Why?
Yo, you're hitting your head
Yeah,
against
because
a
I'm
wooden
conditioning it.
Dog, there are other ways to condition your forehead than smacking it into the fucking board in the sauna room. It's also, it could be done in other ways, and I don't know that he needs to condition his forehead. It's just like the old shoot the box days where dudes were trying to condition their chins by taking fucking hammers. Not actual hammers, but right and left hands on the chin, trying to think, oh yeah, the more I get hit there, the more it'll condition. No, the more you'll gain brain damage and possibly CTE. Fuck. What the hell is Dillon doing, bro? So we don't have a boxing head coach. We don't have a team, but we're sparring Pkwy and spending hours upon hours in the sauna smacking our head against wood. Pause. That's how we're preparing for the Logan Paul fight. It's unconventional. Maybe it'll work. I've never heard of this ever happening.
Why film that?
Because it was just content. I don't know. Fucking
Look at that. That looks like the worst thing that you could
hit your head on
possibly...
the table. You probably couldn't even do it once or so.
No, yes, I'm not a fighter. By the way,
He's like, yeah, I bet you couldn't hit your head on the fucking table. I bet you couldn't smack your head against the wall. You wouldn't do it, pussy. Like, no, dude. No one wants to do that. And it's not like one of those things like, oh, I'll do the things that no one else wants to do. No, it's just stupid to do. You don't do this to prepare yourself for a boxing match.
what is the weight class?
195. He want to go lower than 195. And he did a cycle of steroids and EPO, obviously.
Where do we stand on that?
Okay, Ariel, you've been in this game a long time.
Oh, yes. Let's talk about this because I am, as you guys know, very interested in the world of PEDs when it comes to these discussions. I've been a big proponent that they should have already been doing WA.D.E testing because the main event is doing it. This is not an abnormal cost. And the more I've thought about this, the more I've started to realize this is not an abnormal cost. Like, if Misfits really wanted to do this, they could have done it. Straight up, they could have done it. I don't know why they didn't. They're talking about the cost. The amount of money this fight is going to make will cover the 30 to 40 grand it would cost to get them this test.
Him doing this is another scam that he does. He's a bullshit artist. He just lies. Everybody knows he's on juice. He's admitted taking peptides. There's doctors that have him in the office saying we're giving him peptides on their website. So, like, it's just bullshit.
Hold up. What now?
Just lies. Everybody knows he's on juice. He's admitted taking peptides. There's doctors that have him in the office saying we're giving him peptides on their website.
That is crazy. This is the second time I've heard Dillon talk about Logan's peptide usage. Now, there's another video that I want to take a look at just really quickly that does corroborate what Dillon's saying here. This is a video from the channel Philyon. Shout out to the Third Eye Gang. He has broken down or done a natty or not type of video on Logan, if he is on steroids or not. And there's a portion of this video that I found very interesting. And I will say this, it's from a while back. This doesn't mean that Logan is taking anything, but it does suggest that Logan potentially is interested or at least has knowledge of PEDs. He's talking to W.A.D.E, shout out to Ridiculousness, about Rob's biohacking interests and what Logan and Big Mike do for their biohacking interests, or at least are interested in.
Paul familiar with stem cells and peptides? Mike Malyak chirping in, you're not on test? And why the fuck would Logan Paul do his blood work every quarter? You see, this got me thinking, like a...
That's another thing that's a little sketchy. Logan said, I do my blood work every quarter, and Mike even said every week. You don't do that for no reason. Now, again, I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but you don't do your blood work that consistently for no reason.
Now, Logan Paul didn't explicitly say that he uses stem cells or peptides in this instance, but he was surprised that W.A.D.E doesn't use them. In fact, he said, you don't use either of them?
No, I'm not on stem cells or peptides, but...
You're not on either?
No.
Now, it's no secret, Logan Paul has said it himself, that he uses stem cells to recover for his WWE injuries. And it seems to be getting more and more common for top-level athletes to be using stem cell therapy as a way to regenerate or recover faster from any injuries they incur. Logan Paul is no different. He snapped up his knee in the WWE, and a couple weeks of stem cell therapy, he can walk fine. But what about...
Which is crazy, by the way. And again, I am not against the usage of these things to recover from injury at all. No, I was the same guy, by the way, that said that Conor McGregor should be able to use HGH, human growth hormone, to recover his broken leg. The problem is, once that recovery happens, you do have to get off of those things if you continue using post those things, or if you were already using before those things and continue using post recovery. That is where, again, if we're talking PEDs, that's where you run into the banned substance usage and the unfair advantage you get from those.
peptides. Now, I did some digging and actually found a doctor that Logan Paul has used in the past and maybe still uses today. So this video exists deep on Facebook, and it's Logan Paul shouting out his doctor's daughter for being a fan. In fact, it's Dr. Raj, celebrity stem cell specialist and orthopedic surgeon.
Hey, what up, Sonia? It's your boy Logan. Heard you're a fan of my stuff, so thank you for watching. 12 years old. That's a good age. Stay in school, stay focused, and tell your dad I said thank you for keeping me nice and healthy and healing me up. All right, peace.
This video was posted in 2020, but if we go to Dr. Raj's website, maybe we can see what his practice is about. We can see he offers not only stem cell therapy, but peptide therapy. And yes, they can increase lean muscle mass. And they are, without a doubt, performance-enhancing drugs.
Bingo. So here is the big issue. Philion does say he may still be on these things. I can't accuse Logan of still being on peptides and or stem cells and or whatever he has taken in the past, but the fact that these are a lot of clues coming together that he worked with a stem cell therapy clinic in Los Angeles, and let's be honest, is heavily regulated by the FDA. I also know what can happen with these peptides as far as what Philion is saying. They're not meant for human use as of right now. Like, the FDA does not recognize them for human use. And again, that's not a far-fetched idea to think that Logan Paul has been on peptides because he's talking about it. He's seen a doctor that uses them, but the answer to find out whether he's using or not right now or leading up to this fight would be very simple to do with a USADA/WADE test that Misfits and or DAZN could have easily done. And I have no idea why they didn't do it.
Random drug testing. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, we're drug testing right now.
Why not put it in the contract?
Because he wouldn't do it.
Why not put it in the contract?
At the time, I just wanted to fight the dude, so I just accepted everything.
Right.
Yeah, because like I didn't have no. I'll be honest. At the time, I just pulled out the KSI fight. I didn't have that much
money.
No, not money.
Oh.
I got money.
Leverage is what he's talking about. Like contractual leverage, Dillon didn't have any. And again, I'm not excusing him not trying to put his foot down. If he wanted this stuff, yes, Dillon absolutely should have been like, no, dude, I'm not doing it unless we do WADE testing. That's it. And that would have solved this too. So Dillon is to blame a little bit for that. When you go into a professional sport, you don't ask your opponent whether they want to test or not. I think if we wanted to do this right and we were already doing it for the main event, not sure why we didn't do it down the card.
I'm saying I didn't have that much say in
leverage.
He could just be like, I'm Logan Paul. I don't have to fight you. You understand? So if I say, let's do random drug testing, I'm Logan Paul. I know I'll go fight someone else. You understand? But for me, I'm like, I'm a real man. Obviously, you don't know about that. I'm like, okay, we'll just fight.
Why is he going to Ariel?
You understand? That's what I'm
but
saying.
then you can't cry wolf afterwards.
I know. I'm just telling the truth. I'm just putting his thing because he's a, you know.
So
he can't quote unquote cry wolf, but he can say that he had an issue with it because he felt like he was shoehorned into taking the fight the way it was given, right? Like he can say that. Doesn't mean that he's absolved from any kind of blame here. Yeah, Dillon, you should have had it in the contract. But he can say, listen, I didn't know if I was even going to get the fight.
So I don't understand why you guys just don't do it. Both of you. You should say...
Is this going over your head?
No, you should have said, if I'm taking this fight, there should be drug testing.
He was like, no, I'm not going to fight you. But I wanted to fight the guy so bad.
I guess that's answering our previous statement that he's giving you the rub, right? That's what you're saying. He's giving you the rub.
Not give me the rub. I give him the rub now.
Now, okay, maybe things have changed. You think now
you're going to give me the rub after this?
Why do you keep wanting me to touch you or you touch me? It's very weird.
I saw it coming, dude. I saw it coming. The give you the rub thing is like a pro wrestling term to like put over the guy. Like he's doing you a favor, but the way they're using it here, I knew Dillon was going to say some shit.
I had a bad knee.
Right.
And I'm not that fast anyway. I got 5 feet. I'm a jiu-jitsu guy, bro. Yeah. They used to call me flippers when I was younger. I have feet that flap. I have trouble in half feet.
Why would you say that? Now someone's going to use that against you.
Facts. Yeah, I was going to say, you can't say that. Now it's flippy. Now it's flipper. I'll give one up. Mine as well. When we're here, they used to call me Frog in middle school because I could jump really high. So
me and Jake were supposed to fight. The Ben Askren fight, that was the big one. And I had the knee surgery. And I said, give me 2 extra months just for the knee to come. And he was like, no, this is the set date. Whatever. And then he fought Ben Askren. He went on his run, and I get it. He probably didn't want to go back to me, but I think he should have because we have,
Yeah, there was talk after that, but now it feels like he's gone too far.
But now, no. So the first deal for this fight was from MVP. This is like, I can't even say, this is before the KSI fight and the Logan, when I was supposed to fight Logan. This is the first offer. It was supposed to be me and Logan, and if you win, you're guaranteed Jake for like $2 million or something like that. It was in the contract. And this was being put on by MVP. And then this never happened. And then
That's interesting. So MVP was going to put on Dillon versus Logan. So MVP was going to put on Dillon versus Logan before the KSI fight. So like Logan was deciding whether he was going to fight on Jake's promotion or KSI's, and he chose to fight on KSI's. Smart business move for the Prime card. It's just interesting to hear those little tidbits.
Me and Logan are supposed to fight. He does the thing with Roman Reigns, blows his knee out.
Yeah.
The KSI fight happens. I don't give a fuck about KSI. It doesn't happen.
Big fight.
Not really.
He's a huge
Dude, this
deal.
is way bigger.
I mean,
God works in great ways. You know why?
Why?
Because
Tell
I'm
me.
real, and I've been through a lot in my life, and
Yes.
I'm a real person, and I think that God rewards people for certain things. Because I don't know, it's just weird how life works. I think if you, I mean, you're religious too.
Yeah.
I'm not super religious. I am, but I'm not. But
What faith? What religion?
Catholic.
Okay.
Yep. And I just think that God put me in the spot, like, because for that fight with KSI, I think it might have ruined a lot of people's careers or something. Maybe they wouldn't have not got a bigger fight or something like that. But, you know, God put me
You
in
would
the
have
spot.
beaten him. Would have been huge for you.
He's terrible. I would have crushed him.
Would it be fair to say you?
Like, I get what Dillon's trying to say there, but again, the pullout was solely Dillon's responsibility. And I know people have given me flack for saying this, but I will stand by what I said. The guy's dad did die like a couple of months before that. And maybe Dillon should have read his contract, should have had a team, should have had a coach, all that. He still should. He doesn't have a coach still. But you do have to give some credence to a guy trying to process the loss of his father. I can't tell a man how to act, even if he signed the contract in that moment. Yeah, sure, he's responsible for it, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, you should have. I don't know what he was going through. I don't know that he even was in the right mind during that time. Apparently, things got dark, and who knows? At the same time, now that he doesn't have a coach again, and it does seem like he was just operating and still is on pure instinct here. I don't like that.
You weren't in a great place, and why did you pull out?
I don't want to say, but
Why not?
I don't want a fucking therapy session with you right now.
Why not? I'm just asking.
Why you
why
invite me
pulled
to
out?
dinner and say, hey, sit down, talk to me about life instead of
This is
being
what I'm
on
saying.
camera.
Because you want to be my friend.
I don't want to be your friend.
Well, you want to go.
But this is what I'm saying, though. Like, he's like, I don't want to talk about this stuff. Because he doesn't probably want to talk about the fact that his dad died around the time that, you know, these things were happening. It's obvious he doesn't want to talk about it, not because he feels embarrassed for dipping out of the fight or not looking at a contract. It's something super personal to him, which makes me believe it's the dad thing. So, fair play.
Come on.
Oh, God.
But I'm looking forward to it. Should I?
Give me a hug?
Nah.
Come on.
Well, why are you getting so close?
Give me a hug.
Okay.
This is like the Chael Vanderlei thing. Don't let me get
Come on, give a hug.
close.
Oh, he's
I'll
like,
give you a
No,
handshake.
it has to be a hug.
Are we really gonna hug?
Yeah.
This is a good moment right here.
Come on.
Joe, he's touching me. His hands are very sweaty. Oh yeah, this is nice.
Come on, give me a hug.
Pinching me. That's assault right there.
Is it?
But you saw that, right?
what is this?
Oh, yeah?
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
we're going to get a...
What do you want?
hug.
Jeez.
What? Do I see this?
No.
Stop.
Get the.
Nah, all right, real hug.
Okay, no,
Real
I'm
hug.
not
Come on,
doing-
come on.
no.
Come on, I was just seeing.
Okay,
What
enough.
is going on right
Can I
now?
say goodbye? Oh, there it is.
Dylan tried to actually give him a
What do
wedgie.
you want?
Look.
Jeez.
What? Do I see this?
Dylan's stupid, man. Dog, this Ariel almost fell out of his chair, bro. Holy shit.
That was enough.
Shake my hand.
It was. You
Shake
were
my
very
hand.
sweaty.
Shake my hand.
I need to close
Shake my
the
hand.
thing.
Shake my hand.
I don't trust you anymore.
I promise I won't do anything. Don't do that
Oh,
because I'm gonna come over there. I'm not that far.
all right, there it
Yeah,
is.
We cracked.
I'm trying to bring my hand over there.
I did. That was a good handshake.
All right,
there
well,
he is, Dylan Dan.
this duo is, in a word, interesting. These two guys, every time they're together, it is a show. Dylan came in this time with some ammo loaded in the freaking barrel. He had the Lady Killer shirt on with the Leo DiCaprio hat. Ariel had his moments, called Dylan out on a ton of lies, made him look like Pinocchio, but Dylan had his moments here too and brought up some good points. The message you guys should leave this off with is Dylan's coming to fight. He may not have a coach, he may not have a strategy, he may not have the best idea as to what will happen, but he's coming to fight. And one thing you know about Dillon, whether his verbal skills are there or not, his head will be conditioned. He is, as he says, a fighter, but he's going to have to prove that on October 14th. So, with all the things said here, and as we head into fight week, what happens when Dillon Danis gets in that squared circle with Logan Paul in Manchester, in the home of influencer boxing, which, that phrase, I want you to hold on to that for a video coming next week, but I don't have those answers, so I guess we'll find out.